Thank you so much for watching RIF TV. Now, this interview is obviously with video, but I don't interview everybody on Zoom. That's why I put it on my Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. We talk to rock artists from all over the genre. So check out Talkin' Rock with Meltdown wherever you get your podcasts. And now to today's video interview. Hey, good to see all of you guys. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. You guys are. You guys have a lot of things coming up. Yeah, you guys have a lot of things coming up here very soon, as a matter of fact. But I guess I want to ask you all this one simple question to start us off. How has life for each of you changed in the last couple of years? Bella, I'll start with you.
Oh man, it's night and day. Like going into
all right, Ashley, go ahead.
Pandemic, I call it second. So definitely things took an unexpected turn, but it really is like a dream come true. And I'm so thankful for all the amazing opportunities we've been having.
Now, Ashley or Bella, you must be driving through the mountains or something. We cut out a little bit there, but Ashley, go ahead. What do you say?
It's been crazy doing all this traveling and touring and just adjusting to this brand new lifestyle. It's completely different from being in high school, which I just graduated from. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just something totally different, and I'm really grateful that we get to do this.
Now, Brooke, what do you say?
I mean, yeah, I definitely relate a lot to Ashley because I also just graduated high school like last year. So, but you know, it's been great, and you know, it's really a dream come true. So, very excited and grateful.
Now, Moriah, you've kind of been doing this for a little bit longer. So, are you giving them a little bit of advice, or they look up to you as far as what's going on and you know, taking on this whole new stardom thing?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of all just in it together. I mean, a lot of it is, you know, most of it is even like newer for me, honestly. And, you know, I'm always here to help out or give advice if need be. But for the most part, I feel like we're all just in it together. And I'm still like, okay, you know, just still trying to get the feel of stuff. Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty much it for me. So.
Yeah. So you guys got this tour coming up with Slash. I see on your website, it still says Windsor, but Canada's been kind of crazy. So it's been moved here to Detroit. So I'll start with you again, Bella. Talk about what it's going to be like, you know, touring with Slash. Have you guys had a chance to meet him or anything yet?
Oh my gosh, I've never met him. If we have the chance to meet him on this tour, like I don't even know what I would do. But it's just one of those people like I've looked up to as long as I can remember, you know. I've seen him with Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators twice, and both times like just I left that show just feeling so inspired, like for the entire week or month after that, just because I mean, not only is Slash like just a legend, but that whole band is so insanely good, and all their new material, like the new album that just came out, is amazing, and I'm so excited that we're opening for a leg of the tour.
Yeah, what do you say, Brooke?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy for me because, you know, before all this, I was doing like my own thing on YouTube, and my first cover was actually Bent to Fly by Slash and Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. So it's a crazy full circle moment, and I couldn't be more excited to get out on the road with them.
And Moriah, what do you say? I mean, if you were to cover a Guns N' Roses song, perhaps you have, but what would it be?
Oh man. I feel like my favorite Guns N' Roses song is November Rain. I just love that song. But yeah, as far as like going out with Slash, it's, as the other girls said, I mean, it's pretty surreal because it's like, you know, my dad growing up always had like 80s pop-up videos, and I'm like, I watched this guy in his music videos on TV when I was a kid, you know, playing guitar and just being the badass that he is. And so going out on the road with him is something that I personally never imagined, you know, for years and years and years, or ever, to be honest.
Yeah, Slash has sneakers older than you guys. So Ashley, what do you say?
Man, Slash is just such an influence to everyone that I've spoken to, and in so many ways. Musically, he's an icon with his imagery, and it's so amazing to be able to do this and, you know, be out there with someone that we all inspire so much. And especially Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators as well. Like, they're so amazing, and this new album is killer, and I can't wait to see it live every night.
Now, you just mentioned something about inspiring. Obviously, you guys are super young. Let me start up again with you, Bella. Who inspired you, and how are you inspiring future rockers?
Oh man, well, I started playing because my dad played guitar, but like for like music heroes, I started because of Ace Frehley from Kiss. I mean, like Ashley was saying about Slash, like not just the music. I mean, that's amazing, like on its own, but then you add in all the imagery and like the makeup and the fire and everything. I was just hooked immediately. I was about 5 years old at the time. And then from there, I mean, I kept getting into more and more bands. And so my biggest influences, I mean, today are like Nuno Betancourt, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Jeff Beck. And I mean, of course, still like Slash, Ace Frehley, Eddie Van Halen. But yeah, I mean, as far as inspiring others, I mean, I kind of just try to like stay humble and just focus on my work. And if I'm inspiring someone along the way, then I'm truly honored and touched. I mean, to have any sort of positive impact on anyone.
Now, you go to Berkeley, right?
Yeah, I did a year at Berkeley, and I'm on break at the moment to focus on touring. But I got 2 semesters under my belt, and I might go back for music business later.
That's really cool. So, Moriah, what are your influences? I think we've talked about this before, but and how do you? I mean, you've obviously influenced people already.
I mean, my influences, I guess, would be I have so many, but my core influences are definitely Evanescence and Hailstorm, Aerosmith, and Korn are probably, those would be my biggest influences. I just, there was something about them growing up that I was like, it just, their music touched me so deeply, and it still does, you know, and it was kind of a turning point. Like I would listen to their music and I'm like, man, I really hope to be that for somebody else. You know what I mean? So, and I guess that ties in also kind of to inspiring people. But I guess kind of same as Bella said, is I just try to be the best that I can be, and like, you know, just be myself and make music and connect with people. And if that inspires them, then that makes me happier than anybody. It's like I'm so happy to inspire people, especially young women, you know, hopefully to maybe start their own band or you know, just pursue anything that they want.
Now, I'm old as dirt compared to you guys, but I've had a chance in my career to like talk to some of these people I looked up to and watched growing up as a kid. And you guys are going to have that chance too, I'm sure. Maybe you have. Have you had that, Ryan? Have you had a chance to meet any of your heroes yet?
I did. We just got off tour with Evanescence and Hailstorm, and that was, I think for all of us, that was like, it was just a surreal thing that was like, this cannot be happening. And talking to Amy Lee for the first time was like, 6th grade me was like quaking. I was like, shut up right now. It's freaking Amy Lee. And, you know, and it was just crazy being able to tell her like, hey, you know, thank you so much for making the music that you make and for inspiring me to, you know, take singing and run with it at like 10 years old. Because I don't think that I would be where I am had I not discovered Evanescence.
All right, I'm going to be talking to Lizzie here in a little while, so I want you guys to think of a question. But
sorry, I'm blue.
This is all right. You're fine. I talked to Will Hunt a little while ago, so Brooke, I'll give you the next chance to talk about your inspirations, and maybe you had a chance to talk to Will while you're on that tour.
Yes, I did get a chance to talk to Will, and he is so nice, such a great guy. Actually, at the last show, I got the chance to sit behind his kit with his drum tech, and he gave me one of his packs, so I got to listen to his mix during the set. So it was such a cool experience, and very, very grateful for that.
So how do you decide to pick up drumsticks as a kid?
So it actually all started, I went to a birthday party that was rock and roll themed, and they had musicians come with all different instruments and everything. And each kid at the party got to try them out. And when I sat behind the kit, I just fell in love. And from there, my dad, he would always show me like the Godsmack drum battle that they do live.
Yeah.
So that was always like a huge motivator for me and a huge inspiration. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Tommy and Shannon, I should say. Tommy's the original drummer, but yeah, Shannon and Sully, man, that is awesome. So, Ashley, what do you got for me as far as influences?
As far as bass player influences, I'm really into Bootsy Collins, Galen Dorsey from David Bowie's band, and also David Bowie as an influence himself. I mean, his look, his songs, everything. Paul McCartney, Mike Inez from Alice in Chains, Robert DeLeo from Stone Temple Pilots. Those are just some of them. But I actually had the chance to meet Robert DeLeo at Cat Fest when we played in Oklahoma, and he is just such an amazing guy. So nice.
Yeah, he's really cool. It's funny how you guys bring up all these classic artists, and like I think Moriah, you were saying, or maybe Bella, that your dad listened to it, and I guess I'm your dad's age, so I'm sure my kids hear all my music as well. But that's are all you guys kind of in the classic rock kind of stuff? Are you guys are there anything newer that you guys really like?
I mean, for the most part, I listen to like 70s through 90s rock, but I'm always looking for newer bands to get into. And I mean, I'll listen to, different genres from time to time, but like definitely my roots for sure in rock, like classic rock, definitely.
Yeah. Same with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that my roots are definitely in classic rock. I mean, I grew up, my dad had that stuff playing all the time, particularly, 80s hair metal. My dad had that going on all the time. But as far as as just me personally, I usually I mostly listen to 90s through 2000s all the way up till now, rock and metal. That's my thing. I love the, new metal and and just modern hard rock and stuff like that.
Yeah. Same, Brooke.
Yeah, same here. What is it? I definitely love a lot of the 70s rock and everything. But I definitely gravitate a lot towards the 90s hard rock and early 2000s. That's definitely probably my favorite.
Yeah. Ashley?
I love 70s rock and 90s grunge, but I'm also a big fan of modern funk and modern pop.
Yeah, what's his name? Has a summer house out here. From the Psychedelics. I can't remember his name. I met him one time. Super nice guy. So you guys, somebody asked me about covers on the Twitter or Facebook or something like that. And Moriah, I think you might have saw. I share your Steelheart cover, and it was so amazing. But you guys have done a lot of covers. So I'll start with you, Brooke. What's one of the favorite covers you guys have done?
Ooh, I mean, Barracuda is a classic. I love playing that one. But I really loved. What is it? Obviously, the Isolation cover that we did. It was a lot of fun to play, and then as well as a lot of fun to make the video. So
and plus, you guys were playing it during COVID, so
yeah.
Ashley, what do you think?
My favorite cover that we've done is our Down in a Hole cover because Alice in Chains is my favorite band, and Jerry Cantrell is one of my biggest inspirations. So
yeah, Jerry Cantrell is awesome. And you mentioned Mike Inez a while ago. He's a super nice guy. As you said, you met him?
I have not met him, but my dad has.
Yeah, he's the best. So Moriah, what do you think?
Oh man, I would say that my favorite cover is probably also Down in a Hole because I just that song is it's just such a great song, and it's the meaning is, and it hits home. It's one of those songs that you just feel the emotion just radiates off of it and into you, the person who's listening to it. And so to perform that, it was awesome.
And that Steelheart cover that you did, it was so incredible. I played that song when it was brand new. It's amazing to hear you sing that song. That was so good. I typically don't share that stuff, but I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That was I don't know if I'll ever do that song again because I don't understand how he sings like that. I was listening to that and I'm like, this guy is too incredible. I was I don't know. I didn't think I could do it, honestly. So
he's one of the guys who sings in Rockstar.
Huh?
He's one of the guys who sings in Rockstar when they were singing. I can't remember if he's the original singer or or Mark Wahlberg. I can't remember. But when they're lip syncing, he's one of the guys that are singing, and Jeff Scott Soto is singing the other one, whichever one it is. I can't remember which way it goes.
Oh man.
So Bella, what do you got? What's your favorite cover? And what cover do you think that you guys should do?
Oh man, I mean, that we've done so far, I think it would have to be Isolation. I mean, I love Alter Bridge, and it's kind of one of those bands that I think it's like they're criminally underrated. I mean, between like Miles and Mark Tremont, they are just both amazing musicians. And oh, sorry about that. Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
Yeah, I loved doing the Isolation video, and especially when we were still in lockdown, we filmed that before we had ever done a show. So it was so awesome to kind of put a little piece of us like on YouTube, you know, just kind of showing like who we are as a band before we could actually go out and really do that.
Yeah, and you mentioned Miles Kennedy. Of course, he was the guy at the end of Rockstar that took over for the singer. If you guys recall.
Oh yeah.
So you can bring that up when you tour with him. So. Hey, I got some fan questions here for you. I posted on Twitter yesterday. So somebody wanted to know who inspired Hate and who inspired Sober. Was it the same person? Moriah, you're laughing. What do you think? Did you see that? Or is this an inside joke? I'm not kidding.
It's a funny story. No, just kidding. So, I mean, it's not the same person. Hate was about a person who, I mean, obviously they broke my heart in like the worst way. It's just really, you know, like being in a relationship and thinking that, you know, almost knowing that you can trust someone, and then they, you know, the whole time they're like fooling around with someone else or you know, talking to someone else, and it's like, wow, that's a low blow, you know, and it sucked because like I was away the whole time that was happening. And so I came back to that. So that's really what Hate is inspired by.
So, well, you'll have the last, you'll have the last laugh though.
Yes, hopefully.
Ashley, what do you got to say about that?
I love the way that Moriah wrote both of these songs. I think it's really relatable for anyone who's in a situation similar. And I don't know, they just speak to me, even though I've never been in a situation like that. I could just feel what she's writing about.
And when you guys are writing songs, I mean, first of all, who comes up with the lyrics and who comes up with like the general melodies? That's probably an obvious question. Bella, what do you got?
You definitely have to hand all the credit to Moriah for that one. She's really just a gifted songwriter, and it's pleasure. For the most part, she brings all these song ideas to the table, and we'll jam them out, and we all, you know, kind of craft our own parts, but she does a lot of heavy lifting for sure.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw that Get Back documentary, but Paul McCartney was kind of showing Ringo how he wanted him to play the drums and stuff. Brooke, do the guys do that with you? Hey, try to give us this kind of vibe or this kind of tempo?
I mean, what is it? I just kind of do whatever. I mean, I come up with like my parts and everything, and like luckily most of the time everybody is digging it and likes it. So I haven't had a situation like that, but
you just go with it. Did you guys see Get Back?
Yes.
You know, I've watched the first episode, but I have to watch the other two. I haven't had the time to, but thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, that's the docu-series about the Beatles, right?
Right.
Somebody recommended that to me the other day. They were like, you need to watch this. I think that that, especially like being in a band, it's just a whole different thing watching documentaries like that.
Especially being a songwriter, a performer, a singer. I mean, you know, you guys are probably Beatle fans, I'm imagining, right? At least a little bit.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, because
I have tremendous respect for the Beatles, and I think, like, I know that they are like pioneers, and I like a lot of their songs. I just could never get like huge into them.
Yeah, you and my wife should go bowling. She's the same way. She goes, she says, I like the happy birthday song. That's hers. I'm like, that's the song ever.
I like the song about what is that song? We all live in
another terrible Beatles song. There's so many great Beatles songs. That's what you pick?
Did you hear the Walrus one?
God, you got to listen.
Well,
I wrote it.
I am the Walrus.
Something that sticks out in my mind when I think about the Beatles is the Beatle unit in my 8th grade music class is when like we literally learned everything there is to know about the Beatles, and like there's the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, I think the song is called, and everybody thought that he was saying Paul is dead or something, and he was really just saying like cranberry sauce, but it was like slowed down.
Yeah, Strawberry Fields Forever, or whatever that song is called. Yeah, one of the most classic songs ever. Right, exactly. So that is hysterical. Hey, speaking of funny things, somebody did ask on Twitter a funny tour moment. So I'll give you guys a second to think about that, and maybe you guys all have the same one. And also think about a question for Lizzie Hale, because I'll be talking to her, like I said, since you guys just got off the road with her. So Brooke, why don't you fire us up with a funny tour moment, since you guys just got off the road with Evanescence and Hailstorm.
I mean, we have a lot of fun moments and everything. Some of them, it's kind of hard to explain some of them because a lot of it is like inside jokes and everything.
Right.
Like we'll all talk in like overly exaggerated New York accents. And so like, that's like one of them. And it's just, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of like little things and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Bella, what do you got? You got anything that you can share with us that's not an inside joke?
Oh man. Okay. I think this has to be my favorite one. It's been going on for like 4 months at this point. But at the start of the Mammoth tour, Ashley and I were sitting in the back of the van, and it was like 6 hours into the drive. So we were just kind of like delirious at this point. And Ashley had seen an interview with Jerry Cantrell announcing his signature vinyl guitar. And I don't know why, but I thought it was like a combination of like the coolest but the funniest thing. So I would just randomly, like, we would start randomly talking about the specs on it, like be like, hey, did you know there's only 100 made? They're all signed in gold Sharpie on the back of the headstock. Like, and it just got more and more specific. In this whole tour, we had a new guitar tech and a new merch guy, Chris and Bill, which they were like amazing. And they were troopers because they sat in front of us for this whole week of us just talking about this signature guitar.
So now they know everything about the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw he's doing like a VIP meet and greet. You can actually buy one of his acoustic guitars and do the meet and greet.
I saw
like
that.
$5,000 or something, yeah.
The guitars look cool.
Oh, yeah. Ashley, what do you got?
Yeah.
Are you going to piggyback on her story? You got something else?
I was thinking there was this time I think we were in Seattle for the Hailstorm Evanescence tour, and we went for a walk, and we come back and it's pouring rain, but Bella and I had sushi, and we were meeting everyone else back at, I think, the Space Needle, and I didn't know you weren't allowed to bring miso soup to the top of the Space Needle. So,
or like any food, but just that in specific for that moment.
No miso soup. So we had to sit underneath the Space Needle so we wouldn't get drenched, and we were on the sidewalk just sitting down eating sushi and miso soup.
Moriah, what do you got?
I was gonna say okay, so I think this one's on the Mammoth tour. We were all getting ready to leave the venue, and we were, and the fans were like waiting and stuff, and one of the fans she was awesome, she was like really enthusiastic, and she was just so excited, she was like, yeah, like females rock, like she was like all excited and stuff, and I forgot like what happened, but I think one of our people ended up, because it was kind of like, all right, we kind of gotta go, and we were in the van, and she was like following our van, and at some point one of the people ended up shutting the door, and like as the door was shutting, she just like starts walking away and goes, all right, like me on Facebook.
What
I have to say, that is Huh?
What town was that in?
Alabama.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay.
in Huntsville,
Huntsville, I
Alabama.
believe.
Hence the,
Oh, it was awesome.
accent.
And I'm so upset because we're also upset because we actually came back there with Seven Dust, and I wanted so badly to find this woman so I could like her on Facebook.
I want to like her on Facebook. We just
I do.
don't know her Facebook.
It was so awesome. I love her energy.
It was good. It's
I
never
love the enthusiasm.
Did
And I
you-
love your passion about your Facebook page. Very inspiring.
She's trying to build up her followers, right? Did you guys get a chance to meet Wolfgang's mom on tour?
We didn't.
No.
All
But
right.
I've heard great things.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I posted on socials a few weeks ago that apparently she's divorced or single or something. So I've got a chance, and my wife texted me I don't have a chance. So kind of broke my heart a little bit right there. So
Oh man.
anyway, so you guys can combine. Let's see, one question for Lizzie. What do you? I'll let you guys talk about. What do you think we should ask Lizzie about? I've got some really good stuff, as a matter of fact, from some people that she's gone on tour with. Do you know that Joel, the bass player, actually shaved his eyebrow for one tour for $100, and Lizzie had to draw it on him every single show.
Really?
Right.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is awesome.
Well,
That's
we're
so
gonna ask
awesome.
her about that later. But what do you guys think we should ask Lizzie?
Oh man.
There's so many questions that we could ask.
Did you guys get a chance to like kind of sit down and talk with her a little bit? She's so nice.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was some of the best part of the tour, just being able to talk with her and all
Yeah.
of them. So they're just so amazing, and we miss them so much.
Yeah. Well, you guys are
Yeah.
coming through the Motor City here with Slash, of course, on March 4th. They're kind of dropping a lot of the restrictions now, so hopefully it'll be a great show and everybody can hang out and stuff. That venue, the Fillmore, is awesome right here in Detroit, kind of an iconic venue. But I want to thank you guys for your time and continued success. And being a fellow New Yorker myself, even though I've lived here in Detroit half my life, proud of you guys and keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
us.